2024 is a leap year, which means it's going to have 366 days. And you might be thinking, oh, 366 days is the longest that a year can be. But then you remember, oh, right, 2016 was a leap year, but it also had a leap second, which means that it was 1 second longer than a normal leap year. Maybe 366 days and 1 extra second is the longest that a year can be. But in fact, that's not the longest. You can actually have a 367-day year by abusing time zones. Or, I should say, you can experience 367 days within 1 year. The year is still going to last the normal amount of days, but you can be in it for 367 days, and here's how. The first step to doing this is to wait 4 years, because unfortunately, if you want to do this, you have to be ready at the start of a leap year. And since the leap year has already started, tough luck for anyone trying to attempt this in 2024. Unless you've been recommended this video in 2027 or 2031 or 2035, in which case, get ready, because you're in the prime time to do it. Okay, now that you're back, we can begin. Welcome to the not-so-beautiful year of 2027. You're ready to live through the next year of 2028 for as long as possible. I sure hope it doesn't suck. Step 2 is to go here, to these islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean called the Line Islands of Kiribati. Yes, it's pronounced Kiribati. Now, the reason you have to go to these random atolls in the middle of the Pacific Ocean is because they are at the time zone plus 14, which means they are 14 hours ahead of London. So, you arrive at the Line Islands on December 31st, 2027, and conveniently, you are one of the first people to experience the new year. Hooray! You're now in 2028 before anyone else. And since you're at that plus 14 time zone, that means that you're in 2028 for 14 hours longer than anyone in London. Step 3, wait. For all of 2028. You can do whatever you want for the rest of the year. You can even leave the Line Islands. I sure hope you like fighting in wars, because if you did all of this to get more 2028, then, hope you're happy, kid. But anyways, 2028 is a leap year, so you'll be getting 366 days. But remember those extra 14 hours you got. Great. But wait a second. You don't gain 14 hours when you go to a different time zone. I mean, it's not like the people who live in Kiribati have a longer year. And that's true. See, the Line Islands start the new year 14 hours early, but they also end the new year 14 hours early. That is, 2028 is going to end 14 hours before it will in London if you just stay in the Line Islands. But if you went back to, say, London shortly before the Line Islands entered 2029, you would essentially delay the start of 2029 by 14 hours, gaining you those extra 14 hours. But wait, you can actually go further back than that. This is Baker Island. It is an overseas territory of the United States, and it's kind of like the anti-Line Islands, even though it's literally right next. Baker Island sits at a time zone of minus 12. That means that it is 12 hours behind London, which means that it is 26 hours behind the Line Islands. That means that if you traveled from the Line Islands to here, which is only a few hundred miles, by the way, you would essentially delay the new year by 26 hours, which is more than an entire day. So, back to our plan. Step 4. Shortly before the new year of 2029, you hop on a seaplane and head to Baker Island. Because of the time difference, you've now accumulated 26 hours of extra time. And then you simply wait another few hours for the new year to reach Baker Island, and congratulations! You've now spent 366 days and an extra 26 hours in the year 2028. And 26 hours is just 1 day and 2 hours, so actually, you've had a year that was 367 days and 2 hours long. But wait, what about the leap second? Yeah, at the start of this video I mentioned that 2016 had a leap year and a leap second, so couldn't you repeat this in another leap year, leap second year to get 26 hours and 1 second? Well, no, because the leap second is being abolished in 2035, so there's a very narrow window of time in which you could do that. Actually, there's only 2 years in which you could do that, 2028 or 2032, but I don't think we'll be seeing a leap second in either one of those years. So combining this with the leap second strategy is not going to be possible in the near future. But what about the Diomede Islands? There's an easier way to do this, you know. You don't need to go to the middle of the Pacific. And that's right. The Diomede Islands are 2 islands in the middle of the Bering Strait between Russia and Alaska. Little Diomede is at UTC -9, and Big Diomede is at UTC +12. So it's not quite 26 hours, it's only 21 hours, but I mean, if you don't want to go to the middle of the Pacific, then I guess this is easier. Although you will have to cross between the United States and Russia, which, I mean, at that point, it's preferable to just be in the middle of the Pacific. And also, one thing before we go, you can actually do this backwards. As in, you can start on Baker Island and then go to Line Islands and get a 364-day year. So the moral of the story is that if you really like or perhaps really hate a year, then just go to some Pacific Islands. The end.